try to remember that little song that Chaiwala used to sing, like, play on his radio all the time. Brings you memories, right? That memories is of a home that is actually distant from your real homeland, but then it still brings you memories. And I think it is this sort of sensibility that writers and poets are trying to capture. And having said that, I must also acknowledge the work of the previous generation, Javan Nubula, Tsim Shakela, Tawan Nubula, the deceased Tawan Nubula, late Tawan Nubula, and Pushike Tindula, and all these people. And from the way I look at it, I think those people were actually gifted with far more intellectual acumen. There was this gravitas about them, and they were less emotional. If you look at their writings, they are really serious writings, and they are really well-done polemical writings. I think my generation of writers, a lot of other people do that, but then I don't think we really come up to that standard. And I always say that, we will have scientists, we will have all these great people excelling in these different fields, but I don't think we will have second Javan. And I'm not really kissing his ass or whatever, but it's just kind of saying that it comes with this. You have to have a certain feeling of hurt. Like a real strong sense of hurt. Tenzin Tsundue feels that, no doubt. But still, to give expression, to be that expert in enunciating the political contours, and the shape of that socio-political reality that is Tibet. You cannot just have an academic degree for that. You have to have a body of reading that goes beyond your school syllabus. So that's what I was trying to say. And now, what we are saying is right now in a very primary stage. Of course, Tenzin Tsundue has set the mark, but then we have people who should write who should make movies. There's a whole lot of things when we talk about art. It's just not poetry and literature, music. For example, I was talking about sensibility. I don't know if you remember this great Indian freedom fighters song. There's a song that goes like Sarfaroshi ki tamanna aaj hamare dil mein hai. Dekhte hai ताकत कितना बाजुए कातिल में है, that kind of sensibility, and that says a lot. But I don't think we have come really close to having that dexterity with words, having that sort of flourish of sentiment to capture something like that in any field of work. And we are really new to this whole art scene. I think we have been here for 10, 20 years, and we see all these different people doing a lot of things. And by different people, African Americans, other American Asian communities. They have work art installations. They have small videos, filmographies. I remember going to this presentation by a Lebanon guy called Abdul Zaraki or something, and he did this wonderful thing. What he did was, he had made a video installation comprising of old photographs, nothing political about it, old photographs of people in the 50s and 60s of his countries, and just old photographs, black and white. And he had sort of scenes together these photographs and made a narrative, a running narrative on a voice recorder. And it told something. So see, what I'm trying to say is, you do not have to make an overt political commentary. See a story and make sure that you make that story, put out the story in front of an audience. That's what I'm trying to say. So again, I'm not going to take a lot of your time, and I'll go open to questions. And without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Tenzin Tsundue.
When I was born, my mother said, "You are a refugee." Our tent on the roadside smoked in the snow. On your forehead, between eyebrows there is an R embossed. My teacher said, I scratched and scrubbed on my forehead. I found a brush of red pain. I have 3 tongues. The one that sings is my mother tongue. The R on my forehead, between my English and Hindi, the Tibetan tongue reads Rangzin. Freedom means Rangzin. One of the many things that this time has done to us, a whole generation of Tibetans born and growing up in exile, is exposed to them to such a human condition that they are challenged all the time. A challenge that the holy history of Tibet has never known. And for me, this is such a unique opportunity to live a new Tibetan life. One time it challenges me like a beautiful girl in front of me and calling me, come to me. And on the other hand, following her, going to her, it's such a painful journey. It pains me all the time because I do not have the power to walk as fast as she's doing. I do not have the intellect, I do not have the eyesight to see her in complete reality. And therefore the challenge is too big. I cannot, I don't see that much energy. And largely because my parents never gave me that energy to see that glorious beauty. So I seem to be doing it for the first time. It's damn difficult. And one of the things that we are doing is speaking exile. I see that in Tibet, writers like Dawadashi and Oyser, they are writing Tibet because they cannot speak. There is no space. If you spoke, you are dead, or you will be purged. So therefore they write. They write and they get things published. Officially, unofficially, silently, and silently circulate. And that's a very different kind of expression. Here, what we have mostly done in exile, and because of which international community think that we are more than 10 million, we are actually 140,000 Tibetans. Because we have been too vocal, we have made our presence really felt. And what we have been doing is speaking Tibet. We have our own notions of Tibet. We have our own interpretations of pain because of personal life experiences. And I have a very unique kind of upbringing. In my 12 years of school growing years, I met my parents only twice. It just so happened that everybody took pain granted. It was never pain, it was just everybody's doing the same thing. I was taught to a boarding school and lived there. And my parents never had money to take us home for holiday. And I just took for granted. We just been in school.